Welcome back to Getting Started with Chef Automate Managed Service for Azure. I'm Jody Wolfborn, and in this video, we'll start automating compliance so you can quickly and easily start detecting and correcting issues in your environments using the Chef Automate Managed Service for Azure. If you don't already have a Chef Automate instance in Azure yet, no problem. Check out the last video in this series, Whipping Things Up, where we walk through the deployment process step by step. In this video, we'll use Chef Automate's Profile Asset Store to quickly start detecting and correcting issues in our environments. Let's hop over to the Chef Automate user interface, or UI, now. Once our Chef Automate server is deployed and we've identified a server or VM we'd like to audit, our next step will be to download one of the 100+ pre-built inspect profiles available in Chef Automate's Asset Store. If you've already gone through the Introduction to Inspect content on Learn Chef Rally, you might remember that an inspect profile is a collection or set of regulatory concerns, recommendations, or requirements that have been defined as code. In your Chef Automate UI, open the Asset Store to the Available Profiles tab, and you'll see a load of profiles defining different sets of standards. The server I'll be scanning is on Ubuntu 14.04, so I'll type Ubuntu in the search field to see what profiles are available. Like the majority of these profiles, the controls contained herein were translated directly from the Center for Internet Security's benchmarks, so you'll see a lot of pre-crafted inspect resources that you can use immediately to validate the baseline security of a wide variety of operating systems and cloud APIs. Selecting the Get button will download the profile to your Automate server, and then we'll just need to configure Automate to scan our Ubuntu server. Because the inspect language allows us to scan our running systems without installing anything on them, all we need to start scanning are valid login credentials. Clicking the credentials icon in the upper left of the Automate UI will allow you to configure an SSH user for Nix-based systems, WinRM for Windows systems, and either a password or security key to allow read access. You can then save your credentials and add more as needed to scan all the environments you're managing. Once your credentials are saved, you'll need to add a server or node to be scanned. It's easy. Just open the Scan Jobs tab and click on Nodes Added. Then you'll click Add Nodes. All you need is an IP address or fully qualified domain name, and you can add a bunch of nodes at a time by separating the IPs or domain names with a comma. But for now, we'll start with just one. Then we'll give our node a name. We'll also select the connection protocol we want to use, and then make sure to highlight the appropriate credentials. You can also configure the port you want it to connect on or give a tag to your node. After saving that configuration, Chef Automate will attempt to verify the connection and report back whether it can reach the node or not. Once everything is good, we can schedule our job. Clicking on Scan Jobs will allow us to view whatever scans have already been scheduled or run. We'll click Create New Job, then select the nodes we want to scan, and then the profile we want to scan them with. Then we'll name the job and decide when we want it to run. Leaving the Set Schedule box unchecked will create a one-time scan that runs immediately. But in my case, I know that our team is continuously delivering updates, patches, and new features to our systems, so I'll schedule it to run every minute, giving me continuous visibility into the compliance of my environments. Every organization has its own release cadences, so you can configure scan jobs to run by the hour, day, week, or month. When our first scan is completed, we can mosey over to the Compliance tab to view our results. Clicking on the Nodes tab will show us the compliance of each node in our system, where the Profiles tab will show us the overall state of our environments as it pertains to a specific profile. As you can see, my node is not compliant with its CIS benchmark. To learn more about where our systems are failing, we can click on the node and see the full audit details. Here we see every inspect control that our server is evaluated against, and we can filter our view by severity of failing controls so that we can prioritize by critical or minor controls. Scrolling through, I see that one of my failed controls is a check for the telnet client. If we expand that control, we'll see the full test results, where InSpec expected the telnet client to be configured a certain way, but in fact, it was configured somehow else. From here, we can expand even further and see the InSpec source code that was used to create our audit. At the core of InSpec code are resources, which define the actual evaluations our audits are going to run. Each InSpec resource consists of at least a type, a name, and a matcher, or the condition you're expecting. Here, our type is package. The name of the package is telnet, and the matcher or condition we're expecting is that it should not be installed. You can define as many matchers as you need for your resources, as in this example, where we're expecting the Apache service to both be installed and running. You can even download and modify existing profiles to suit your needs, taking full advantage of the open and flexible nature of the InSpec framework. Now your organization's unique regulatory concerns can be translated into human-readable controls inherited from pre-existing profiles and customized to fit your organization's needs without wasting weeks of work during each new audit cycle. Woo! It was easier scanning our notes than it was to say that sentence. Now that we've downloaded an InSpec profile, scanned a node for compliance failures, and set up our Azure and Chef Automate integration, it's much easier to prioritize remediation and fix the critical failures in our systems. Watch the next video in this series, Scaling Configuration Automation, to see how you can use Chef Automate to create an automated cycle of detecting and correcting issues in your environments. Until then, I'm Jody Wolfborn, over and out.